Hello, I'm Coercer, and we are going through all the games of ArtifactCup number 24, and we have covered all the games in round 1, and we are now moving on to round 2. Now the first two games will be played between Tren and RavingLuhn. RavingLuhn has advanced from the previous round. So let's load into the game. So it will be interesting to see what happens. But Tren, of course, is the favorite to win, especially on Clash Teeth, as he is quite a good player. He regularly gets to the finals, and he has also won some Artifact Cups. But let's see how RavingLuhn will fare against Tren. We'll be watching this from Tren's perspective. Tren has spawned in the south as the Kharak, and RavingLuhn has spawned in the north as the Coalition. Now, RavingLuhn has already retired his base runner to get a boost to his starting resources, but Tren is keeping his base runner. Now, Kharak base runners are far more valuable and also far more useful, as they can build blast drones. They also have a smoke wall ability, so they can plop that down and escape any hairy situations. But the blast drones, those are the pretty much what brings up this base runner as a good unit. We saw in round 1 how effective blast drones can be as a form of early game harass, so we'll see what Tren is up to in this game. He has already opened up his second bulkhead and is saturating the CU fields. Let's look at the production. RavingLuhn has just completed his support cruiser and is moving his carrier to the second bulkhead, so he is a bit behind concerning when the salvagers are already on the field, and on a small map like Clash Teeth that can be quite punishing. Tren is building 2 more salvagers, which means he will fully saturate the second bulkhead, while RavingLuhn has only just now begun to extract resources from the second bulkhead. He has 2 LEVs out, presumably to scout around and see what's going on, while Tren is just long hauling from the second bulkhead, and he has research production cruiser, refinery mode, which will optimize his resource gathering, and his base runner has grabbed an artifact. Now I'm expecting a blast drone to pop out of this base runner fairly soon, if not earlier, as soon as he sees these 4 LEVs coming to take out the base runner. There we go. The blast drone is in construction. The base runner plops down the smoke wall and is temporarily saved from some damage from the LEVs. The blast drone is up, pops out, and ooh, it hits 3 LEVs. Now that was a very good trade, and the base runner will of course deliver the artifact. Tren is building assault ships from his single production cruiser, and now that his refinery mode has been researched, he will of course have a much easier time just cranking out units. The base runner will probably get away, especially if Tren builds another blast drone and just takes out these LEVs. And in the meantime, RavingLuhn really has no idea that Tren is sending 2 assault ships through the back and into his main, so we'll see how he will react as soon as he spots those assault ships coming in. And Tren's assault ships immediately, or assault ship immediately gets to work on the bunched up salvagers. Now, if you didn't know, assault ships, both Galson and Knife assault ships have an AoE attack, so if anything is bunched up together like these salvagers, they die very quickly. All the LAVs are coming in to defend, as well as the coalition carrier, but the damage has already been done, I'm afraid. Now, the LAVs won't really do much against these assault ships, but the carrier is getting some good hits in. While this is going on, another assault ship is coming in to harass the second bulkhead now that the carrier is away. Let's see what Tren is doing. Tren is also producing another production cruiser while pumping out assault ships. Now, the AAV versus assault ship matchup is kind of weird because the AAVs really don't deal any damage to assault ships at all, and if assault ships can bob around and hide behind dunes, the AAVs really can't deal any significant damage to them. Now, these assault ships already have armor 2, so these AAVs really can't do any kind of significant damage to this assault ship, even if it is outnumbered like this. More assault ships on the field for Tren, and another production cruiser standing by. And Tren is building more salvagers, so he will expand to the third bulkhead. And RavingLuhn is now on the back foot. He is trying to defend his expansion and his main, but Tren is just maintaining both the assault ship here on the left and the one on the right to make sure that when RavingLuhn moves his forces, as he has done right now, he can just move in with one of these assault ships and cause some harassment. Tren has researched air, and he has already built an interceptor, and there are 2 more on the way. He's also researching afterburn attack, which will make his interceptors very quick. In the meantime, he is harassing the expansion from RavingLuhn and keeping the AAVs occupied with the assault ship. Now, since he still has armor 2, but this is exactly what we saw earlier. Like, these are 4 AAVs fighting against an assault ship, and that assault ship is slowly grinding them down, while the AAVs are basically not dealing any damage at all. In the meantime, Tren is capturing another artifact, which will boost his power and also mean that he is up 2 artifacts to 0. And here come the interceptors from Tren. Now it will be interesting to see what he will target. And he's going straight up for the damaged AVs and taking them out immediately. And as soon as interceptors spot railguns, they go for them right away, because those are pretty high value targets, and interceptors are quite good at taking them out. There we go. Tren has captured his second artifact, so he's most definitely ahead. He has saturated both his expansions, while RavingLuhn is struggling to keep everything under control in his main base. And these railguns have also been taken out by an assault ship. Those were poorly positioned here behind the hill. You should never put them somewhere on a dune or on a hill where assault ships can just pop over the hill and quickly assault them. Railguns should be somewhere in the middle of the field, like here, so they could deal damage to the assault ships before they could come in the range and basically wreck the railguns. In the meantime, Tren has is now in the process of capturing 2 more artifacts, so it seems like he is going for a capture victory. And now RavingLuhn has researched the anti-air attack on the support cruisers, but I'm afraid that is too late to take out all of the interceptors, and the interceptors have already dealt significant damage. So even if he takes them out, I'm afraid that technology is too late. And he would maybe be better served with the missile batteries, since those can also use the mortar ability to deal some damage on the ground. Tren has captured 3 artifacts, so it's 3-0. And the way this game is playing out, I'm afraid that RavingLuhn is going to lose this one, but let's see. Maybe he can pull off a carrier push, or if he moves his carrier and supports it with the railguns he has, he can maybe defend the extraction zone and deny any more artifact captures. Tren is just cranking out units. He is building another production cruiser which will increase his production capability. He is massing sand skimmers, probably since he is thinking that RavingLuhn has been cranking out railguns, and sand skimmers are pretty damn good against any railgun force. They can move in quickly, and the railguns don't really have much of a chance of taking them out before the sand skimmers can reach them. The railguns have trouble hitting them since they are small targets, as opposed to assault ships, which railguns are quite good against. RavingLuhn is now trying to amass some kind of a force to defend, or maybe to even move out and block the extraction zone. The middle artifact is just about to pop back into the game, and Tren should pick it up immediately and start heading to the extraction zone. RavingLuhn has also constructed another support cruiser and is attempting to secure his 3rd expansion. But even, let's look at the units lost tab. RavingLuhn has lost so much more in the resources that I'm afraid he is too far behind to really contest this capture here. He has a missile battery up, so if he can get a good mortar strike on these sand skimmers or any of these units, he should deal some good damage to them. There goes the mortar strike. Hits quite a few of the sand skimmers, but they survive. Another mortar strike takes out 2 sand skimmers, and RavingLuhn even gets the base runner, so he has temporarily stopped any kind of captures from Tren. But Tren has powered up the missile system on his carrier, and he will begin to start punishing RavingLuhn's carrier with all of his forces. He has assault railguns, he has interceptors, he has carrier power, and RavingLuhn is exposed without any kind of support army. So this carrier should go down fairly quickly. RavingLuhn is now trying to reposition, perhaps to get on right under the KNF carrier and prevent it from launching the missiles. But Tren is now recalling his forces. As he sees he can just go for the kill. He is whittling down the coalition carrier, and this is looking very dire for RavingLuhn. He has though succeeded in bringing Tren's carrier down below 50% health, but Tren is now being supported by assault railguns. He is launching missiles, and RavingLuhn's carrier is destroyed. Well, far as games on Kalash Teeth go, this wasn't quite as rushy as one would imagine. If Tren would have gone for a 2 production cruiser rush, this could have been over far quicker. But as it goes, he went for an artifact victory since the map was uncontested, and with a powered up carrier he had no problems taking down RavingLuhn's coalition carrier. Let us move on to game number 2 and see what happens there.